Yes. Motel Hell with his fritter patch is one of those movies that when I first saw it, I kind of was like, I think I don't like this. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, wow, this is like your 80s looking type practical effects, weird hitchhiking story.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that this movie took a lot of inspiration from the Grindhouse type of deal. Movies that came before it, like the grittiness of Chainsaw and stuff like that. And the ending scene when he's like just he's got the chainsaw and he's got a fucking pig's head on him and he's just going ape shit in overalls. You know, the greatest. That's one of the best scenes in a horror film ever.
It's one of those like very over the top, like fun movies.
Yeah,
is what I was trying to get to. It's not. It's one of those like once you see it, it's nothing that can really compare to it.
Yeah, and then even at the end when he's dying, you know, and he has a confession to make, and you're like, oh, he's going to apologize for being all weird and shit, and all he goes is, I use preservatives. Like, that was his big crime in life. Not killing people, but, like, using preservatives.
It's a great fucking movie.
Great movie.
I was very hesitant in calling it, like, horror comedy, but the comedy slaps really hard in this movie. So
it's not really comedy. Is it really? Here's a serious question for you.
Okay.
We see these kind of deranged people and we laugh because they're funny, but to them it's normal. It's not really funny.
Maybe we're fucked up.
Well, everybody's fucked up because you laugh at it because, oh, it's funny. It's not really funny. It's just these people are so deranged that what they do in their everyday life is normal to them, and we laugh about it. But to them, it's normal. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what you call a sick human being. When, as I said, when he said, you know, I use preservatives instead of confessing that he killed people, that's the exact sign. First of all, that scene was to make you laugh. But if you really think about it, a person like that really does look at it like my only crime was using preservatives.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it's kind of fucked up the way people, you know, the way we use horror films and just films in general to kind of laugh at people's
misfortunes.
Not misfortunes, but their mental illnesses. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a mental illness.
Yeah, it's not right.
No, but, you know, what can you do about it?
Maybe we're the evil ones. But yeah, this definitely has your, I guess, if I could compare, like, if you're familiar with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I'm talking to the people out there, it definitely has that kind of vibe going on in this movie. It's a very fun movie.
Well, coming in at number 114, I kind of cheated a little bit and put two movies.
Bastard.
Well, they're very similar, and I'll do this one. Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox. Okay, I will say Cannibal Ferox A, Cannibal Holocaust B. Shocking, because everybody talks about Cannibal Holocaust. I think Cannibal Ferox is a better movie. But the reason why I put them both together is because if I sit here and I explain to you the plot of it and what happens, it happens in both goddamn movies. You wouldn't.
Very similar.
Yeah. But Ferox is just, it's made a little bit later, so it's a little bit more tightly compact. Not as chaotic as Holocaust. Holocaust
is a little bit more raw.
Well, Holocaust,
I mean, they kill actual animals in the movie.
Yeah, it's a snuff film when it comes to animals. They shoot monkeys, they kill turtles, They fucking slaughter little baby pigs. All of that's real. Like, that's not that's not props or anything.
So anybody out there listening to this, if you are squeamish or an animal lover, I would stay away from Cannibal Holocaust because they really do kill those animals. It's not practical effects.
No.
It's fucking real. And I think that's why Cannibal Holocaust gets talked about more, is because of that.
Yeah, and most of these tribes that are in the film, they're not actors. They're actual tribes. They're obviously they won't violent cannibals, but they were, there was enough communication to where somebody says, hey, we want to film something here. Can y'all pretend to do this? And they went along with it. Most of them had never seen a camera and shit before, but,
so that aspect of it was real.
Yeah, it was like, Did
they do that with Ferox? Did they shoot it like they did Cannibal?
Well, no, there was no legitimate animal slaughters.
No, I know there was no legitimate slaughters, but I'm talking about as far as like the tribe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that shit's real. Serpent in the Rainbow.
Yeah.
When they went over there and Wes Craven and all those guys, like all those voodoo people.
Yeah.
That was real.
Right, yeah. I just wasn't sure about Ferox.
I mean, of course, there's your main actors are plants because they're actors.
Right.
But if you want 100 and so background characters, you're not going to find a bunch of fucking actors as background if you're trying to make a jungle movie.
Right.
You're just not going to do that. So,
I mean, what you did is fair. I mean, I don't honestly. If I had to pick between the two, it would be kind of a coin flip. Like wherever the coin lands, I'd go with the coin.
Yeah.
Because you're not wrong with. You're pretty much saying it's the same fucking movie.
Yeah, it's the same movie. It's just I know Holocaust has the better reputation, but Ferox, in my opinion, is the better movie. The reason why Ferox don't get talked about much is because it looks there is so many cannibal movies that were made from like 78 to like 84, and all of them are the same.
Yeah.
So Holocaust is talked about the most because it was the first. It was kind of like the first one to like really shock people, and everything after that is just looked at as a ripoff. So
Jaws effect.
But Ferox is a better movie. Number 113 from 1985, Day of the Dead. This is the third movie in George A. Romero's Dead series, and this one takes place at underneath like a military bunker type of deal.
Yeah.
And you got different type of people. You got the military cocksuckers.
Yeah, buddy.
You got
assholes.
Yeah, and they're mixed. You got a doctor and you got a airplane pilot, and everybody kind of has a different role. But these soldiers kind of like are your typical
dictators.
Yeah, I'm in the army.
I rank above you.
Yeah, and
Fuckers.
their whole job is to protect you, but
But they're not protecting them at the same time.
You can't protect. You can't like rule over somebody and like torture them and be like, "Oh, well, I protect you." Like
I do this because I love you.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there like that, but
yeah.
They get their comeuppance.
This is an amazing zombie movie.
Definitely.
I feel like that's a fair spot because I don't know. Like it's hard for me to really say where I'd put what, but it's definitely more zombie movies that I'd put above this one.
All right.
which I'm sure that this is not the last zombie movie on your list.
Coming in at number 12 from 1980, go figure. The original Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis. They recently did a remake to this, and I think it's actually a part 2 on Tubi. It's like a Tubi original.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It's a good little streaming service slasher film, but
Yeah,
this one, Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis, is 10 times fucking better.
Oh yeah,
And the killer is 10 times more creepy. with the big nose and the mustache and the knife and the
more sinister.
more sinister. Just a slasher on a private train is basically what you got here.
Oh.
If you've never seen it, go watch it. A lot of these slasher films we just kind of zoom by because
Very good, intense death scenes in this movie.
not a lot of slashers need much explaining. I mean, you got a guy and he kills people. It's just how you like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very basic slasher movie with a good ending. And you have Jamie Lee Curtis on top of it.
On top of me.
I wish.
Coming in at number 111.
111.
From 2007, it's Trick or Treat. The first anthology on my list.
Trick or Treat has definitely been one of those movies that I never thought would be iconic as it is now, because it's safe to say that Sam is a very iconic figure at this point.
Oh, definitely. Sam is up there.
I think
over
it's
time
a missed opportunity not giving him his own movie yet.
Well,
just me personally.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, they could have capitalized off a lot with Sam and those. Even if they wanted to make movies where, Sam is not the main thing and he's just kind of a, he's there present while other bad things is going. Just him being present is kind of like a crypt keeper type of deal.
Pretty much like they did in the first one, but just not having a main part for him. He's just kind of like, you'll see him like get, trick or treat and little things like that. But I think it's one of my favorite anthology movies, honestly. It's done so well. All the side things in the movie is very well told. It's very interesting, and I like how everything wraps up together in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite part about it, and what was so, I guess, refreshing is that, like, you have these side stories, but then they all, like, come together. Like, it's like some anthology movies, they tell the story, and then the story's over with. But in this one,
all of them tied together.
Yeah, all of them tied together at the end, and then it ends with Sam. Like, I'm gonna go on a limb and say it is my favorite anthology movie.
Yeah, it's right up there, man. Well,
sorry, I didn't mean to take over with Trick or Treat.
Coming in at number 110 from 1988. It's Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. This is the second entry that a Pinhead appears in, and sometimes much like
or Hell Priest.
Sometimes, what was I going to say? Oh, this movie is kind of like one of those things where I go back and forth. Sometimes I like the second one better than the first one, and Hellbound is definitely there's a good case. Like, if I go up to somebody, I'm like, you like first one, the second one better, and they say the second one, I'm not going to argue with them too much, because first of all, it takes place in hell world, and the fact of the matter is this: if you want a movie that's about Pinhead or the Hell Priest and the Cenobites, You want to watch the second one.